Phoenix Splash TV. Now, if you're a fan of retro video games, chances are that you may have heard this guy's voice in some way, shape, or form. He is Takenobu Mitsuyoshi. If you grew up playing Sega games like Virtua Fighter, the Outrun series, Shenmue, and of course Daytona USA, then you probably heard this guy's stuff. I mean, who can forget that iconic voice? And hey, since he's a video game composer, I don't have to worry about getting flagged for his music. Thank you, Takenobu. So, who is Takenobu Mitsuyoshi? Well, he's one of those guys that lives and breathes music. He's been into music ever since he was in junior high. And unlike most high-end video game composers, he was actually into video games too. Somehow he stumbled into Sega's sound team in 1990, and the rest is history. I'm not even sure if he has a music degree, but I'm sure that he has some kind of honorary doctorate or master's by now. And that's pretty much all the background information that he has. No weird vampire shtick or crazy conspiracies with this, just a crazy man. On top of being a composer, he's an arranger, a pianist, a vocalist, and also a bass guitar player. Now, for those of you who don't know, an arranger is someone who takes something that's written by someone else and reconstructs it to fit something else. Like if someone were to compose a piece on piano and someone rearranges it to be played on a Game Boy or a Rock Band. Takenobu does a lot of this in many different video game projects. Now, I was first introduced to his music through a game called Shenmue, which is my favorite game of all time. Now, Shenmue was huge and had a team of composers consisting of other video game composer legends like Yuzo Koshiro, Ryuichi Ichi, and others. Now, with Shenmue, it's kind of hard to know which composer composed which song, but according to SegaRetro.org, Takenobu is credited with writing the main theme of Shenmue. He also wrote the Sedge Tree. And he's also credited to composing Antiquity Tree, which is my favorite reimagining of the Shenmue theme. I even played it on this channel. And not only have I played it, I even transcribed the sheet music of it by ear. That's how much I love that song. Maybe I should post it in case some other piano players want to take a crack at it. It's kind of cool that I was first introduced to his serious compositions before I even knew about Daytona USA and his wacky side. If you listen to the Shenmue themes, some are really dark and serious, which just shows how versatile Takenobu's compositions are. And then there's his wacky side, and of course I'm talking about the soundtrack that got him famous, the Daytona USA soundtrack. Now, if you're an intense vocal enthusiast, you probably are wondering why people get behind this style of vocals. And to you, I just say relax and have fun, because that's what Takenobu's singing career is all about. Whenever I hear his voice, it just reminds me of that classic Sega era where games and their music were valued. It was all about having fun, and didn't have to be so serious, and didn't try to imitate every famous TV show imaginable. It's definitely an identifiable voice and will outperform many vocal styles just due to its enthusiasm. Like for real, I'd rather listen to his voice than Kanye's any day. I mean, there are composers who write for Takenobu to sing, like the theme song for Burning Angels by Naofumi Hayata. He also takes some of Sega's popular music and sings the melodies. One of my favorites is the Space Harrier one. Here's him playing with the actual composer on keyboard. He even did a cover of Capcom's reused theme song, which was originally composed by Yoko Shimomura for a tribute album for Street Fighter II. I remember when this came out, it was like on every Mugen I ever played or indie fan-made Street Fighter game I found. It was just everywhere. Now there's something I just realized at this minute that I haven't realized before. His voice sounds a lot like the singer of System of a Down, Serge Tankian. That's just interesting. Because System of a Down actually sang the Legend of Zelda theme once, which is something Takenobu would do. So yeah, that's pretty wild. Now, what would be my favorite Takenobu Mitsuyoshi song? Now, of course, you may have already guessed that it would be Antiquity Tree, but maybe I should pick another. I'd have to go with Let's Go Away for the Daytona USA soundtrack. I feel like this song pretty much sums up who he is, better than any words can. Now, even though I never got super into Daytona USA, I still fell in love with the soundtrack. And there are a ton of awesome videos of him that you can find on YouTube. Chances are, they're over to your right. So what do you think about Takenobu Mitsuyoshi? What's your favorite song from him? Leave it in the comments below. I have to give a shout out to Oh So Jiggly and Kenneth Foreman, who suggested that I do a video on Takenobu. Oh So Jiggly also makes some videos himself, and if you're a fan of Sega retro games or just retro games in general, you'll love his content. And I'm glad I got this recommendation. It's really fun to talk about some of my favorite video game composers. Also, feel free to leave any kind of music recommendation in the comments, whether it be video game composer, rock and roll, opera star, I'll do it all. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching. This is Josh the Music Man, signing off.